Hey there, TRASTRA fans. So you definitely already know what's happening with FTX and Binance and the non-binding letter of intent to bail out FTX.com by the Chinese crypto exchange, which is #1 in the world. One important distinction to make right here, right from the beginning, is that the intent to buy FTX only concerns the FTX.com, so the FTX US, which is an entity that's mostly dealing in crypto securities in the United States, the derivatives and so on and so forth, is not involved in the action. But even still, it's thundered through the space as a major shock, because we all know that FTX is the #3. It's the third largest crypto exchange in the world, and to see it really fall apart like this in less than a day, it's really disturbing. And I know it disturbs me. I don't know how you look at it. Maybe you're just sitting back in your living rooms and offices and chewing popcorn and enjoying the show. And I got to tell you, this is my sentiment as well, because I'm guilty. I'm human. I know that a person like SBF, who a couple of months ago had said that DeFi is basically a Ponzi scheme, and he sort of bragged about it, that he's in the middle of it all, and he's making a huge living. Well, I'm not going to call it living, because nobody lives off of billions of dollars, but he's just making huge amounts of money from this Ponzi operation. And then 2 months later, several months later, his $16 billion fortune, basically 94% of it evaporates in one day, literally less than 24 hours this thing took. So some commentators say that SBF has little less than $1 billion left in his personal account, and that he's going to need all that money for the legal fees later on. And I tend to agree, because the shitstorm this guy's facing is probably going to be something. There are some cool threads on crypto Twitter with very credible commentators voicing their opinions on the subject, and I'm going to go through some of those in this video, and I'm going to leave the link to those as well in the video descriptions. I'm sure you all want to I'm sure y'all going to want to check them out for themselves, for yourselves, and check some links that are included in those threads. But I just wanted to say right off the bat that, to me personally, someone who considers crypto an institution, it's a social institution, social construct, first of all, that's based on a very interesting, very innovative technology. And to see someone like SBF, or this Russian guy from Celsius, I forgot what's his name. Actually, I'm not really great with names, so I have to look that up, but I'm not going to stop the video to look that guy up. When I encounter people like that, and unfortunately there are a lot of people like that still in the space, and we're not going to see a whole lot of Kathy Woods or Caitlin Longs in this space. Mostly it's going to be SBFs and some other people that are just looking to make a quick buck and get out of it while they still can. Now, in many cases like Duquan and SBF, this thing is not going to work out like they wanted it to, but I'm hopeful that the long arm of the U.S. Treasury and the SEC, in conjunction with the SEC and CFTC, will sooner or later reach far enough for those subject of Bahama jurisdiction, Singapore jurisdictions, Malta, South Africa, etc., etc. At some point, hopefully, all these people are going to be brought to justice. I mean, what I'm saying is, for example, this thing right here, there's an awesome write-up on this whole thing on Zero Hedge, as usual. I mean, these guys are really freaking top-notch, A-list when it comes to monitoring things like that. And so this is what really bothers me. His fortune was 26 billion at its peak, the report says, but the future of it all is now in doubt. In a eulogy out of Tuesday afternoon, Bloomberg says that his fortune, quote, will be annihilated at the hands of his billionaire rival, end quote. Going down with the SBF ship are investors like SoftBank's Vision Fund, of course. Well, SoftBank wasn't really great with investments lately. I remember the whole WeWork thing from way back when they invested in this guy, Israeli guy, again, I can't remember the name, but you can easily Google it. And SoftBank back then went down with the ship, and they keep investing in enterprises that are just no good. SoftBank, that's half the trouble. The thing is that Temasek, and the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. They had $400 million invested in FTX at a $32 billion valuation. So the whole thing went down at 16. And back then at 32 billion, they invested $400 million, and that money is pretty much lost. And that's that we're talking about Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. So I guess Ontario teachers, caught in that shitstorm, I really, empathize, and I wish, pension fund managers wouldn't really mess with crypto, because that's just really bad. I mean, I'm sure the managers made out okay, but I'm wondering what the teachers are going to get, the rank and file teachers who are actually looking forward to get their pension in this, this year. So like I said, there are plenty of great threads on this thing on Twitter. Here's the thread. Here's a thread that I wanted to show you, because it's, it's fairly comprehensive, and it basically gives you a very, concise and very exhaustive analysis of what went wrong with the FTX over the last few weeks and some months ago, because SBF didn't really appear out of nowhere. This guy, they were working with Binance CEO. I don't remember the name, the Chinese name, I forgot, CZ, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, so he was his disciple. They worked together in the past, and then they became rivals. And now this the Chinese guy is buying out SBF. So anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry. So like I said, there are plenty of great threads on Twitter on the subject that really explain it in some detail, like lots of exhaustive analysis already. I mean, it's already been less than 20 hours, but a lot of people actually came up with a lot of great content on this topic. This one is really cool. FTX, the world. Okay, so let me explain. The Trouble Exchange has faced severe liquidity issues in the past few days and has now agreed to terms with its primary competitor and investor Binance. You might want to take a look at the actual thread by SBF himself. He gives naturally very, very optimistic analysis of the situation. Needless to say that some comments under his thread are actually pretty vicious. We're not going to go through that, but so what happened? What happened, you might want to ask. I'm going to give you the nutshell explanation. I found a tweet that basically covers it all. I mean, if you don't want to get too deep into this thing, this will be good enough. The catalyst was Alameda's balance sheet being leaked, which showed heavy exposure to FTT tokens. That made people realize how fragile the FTX Alameda complex was, and caused Binance to sell its FTT tokens, with a bank run on FTX as a result, and a bailout sale the only solution. This was basically it. I mean, FTX was issuing its tokens like crazy, loaning it out to different people to use for staking, to use for bailouts of third parties, and then fourth parties, and so on and so forth. We know that the wave of bailouts goes way back to May, June of this year. And in all those actions, the FTT token was involved. That leaked Alameda balance sheet showed that there's just too many FTT tokens issued. Voila. I want to show you Lynn Alden's tweet. She gave a perfect explanation of the situation in sort of a suck puppets thing. It's kind of a metaphorically speaking. I mean, the previous one that I showed you was more like business-like, but this one really, really blew my mind in terms of how simple, how accessible this explanation is. Basically what's been going on at FTX, and I'm pretty sure 99% of other crypto organizations that make it their business to trade tokens and sell and buy with no real utility in sight, basically just a trade operation. So this is how it works. This is how crypto works if it's not utility crypto, if it's not used for anything other than just dry, pure speculation. And again, if you're not subscribed to Lynn Alden's blog, if you don't visit it regularly, if you're not following her on Twitter, and you're doing yourself a huge disservice. But anyway, yeah, imagine McDonald's makes its own money. Let's call them clown bucks. Keeps most of it and sells some to the market. McDonald's then uses their remaining clown bucks as collateral for actual loans, and then people remember clown bucks aren't real. And then she follows with and then Starbucks comes and market sells the clown bucks they were holding, while reminding the market that clown bucks aren't really a thing. McDonald's balance sheet is trashed with their clown bucks wiped out. Anyway, that's what happened in crypto land this week. Yeah, this is what happened in crypto land this week. Like I said, I'm gonna leave some links with a very thorough analysis by really shrewd specialists of the situation in the description of the video. But from my personal standpoint, again, I'd like to say that you have to make a very clear distinction when it comes to crypto. You have to realize with unmistakable clarity that there are different types of crypto operations. If you want to engage with an exchange, if you want to trade it to make money, well, you have to expect things like that happen, like it happened with the FTX and earlier with some other. I mean, this is the business model of pretty much any exchange or any speculative crypto operation. They don't really make your crypto serve the community. It doesn't really do anything for a technical progress of the whole thing, of the crypto space. It's just a trading non-existent value to extract it from a thin air and turn it into real bucks and get out. I think the time when the off-ramp from exchanges is going to be very much limited is near. I don't think this process is going to go on forever. I mean, banks are not going to just watch this thing unfold and like, meh, you know what? We don't care. You can just trade your clown bucks tokens and then come to us for for payout. The banks are not going to tolerate that much longer, I'm sure. So those operations are going to either die out or get culturalized. They're going to get regulated, and the majority of those exchanges are just going to go quietly into the night. So that's one thing, the speculative crypto. Another thing, when you use the technology to create applications and extract the type of utility from crypto that it was really created to carry. I mean, if you use it for payments, if you use it for value storage, if you use it for settlements, for trustless settlements, now this is the way to do it. And if you do it that way, if you're a small business or if you want to get your people paid in crypto, this thing is going to mature with time. It's going to work in parallel with legacy economy. It's going to run in parallel. It's not going to replace the dollar or euro anytime soon. This is not what crypto does. Again, so if you draw a clear distinction between the utility crypto and speculative crypto, you're going to do very well, very well. Now, if you want to play some DeFi on the side, more power to you. I mean, by all means, we actually encourage that, but that's a whole different story. We encourage that as long as you're not playing with your kids' college fund. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to make it too long. I left some things out, like for example, I didn't even touch on the on some aspects of Coinbase and FTX and Binance, the love triangle. There are some interesting things there, but I'm going to leave some threads in the description so you guys can do it for yourselves, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. Please be sure to subscribe to our social networks and visit our TikTok channel regularly. We put up some awesome videos up there. Hopefully you guys like it. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.